Dr. Kizza Besigye has a penchant for raising his unclenched fist at the end of his inflammatory speeches. For a man who has changed the face of politics in Uganda for the last decade with his unbridled defiance, Besigye has built a political legacy against adversity, filling the yawning chasm of an alternative political platform. In 1999, Besigye chose a political journey nobody dared to take. He wrote a scathing attack chronicling the sins of the party he belonged to, the NRM, questioning why the party was deviating from a democratic path. To date, he has never returned to the party whose values he once cherished. Last week, the iconic figure of the FDC announced plans to retire after serving his last term as president and perhaps contesting the presidency with President Museveni in 2011.
In FDC, we have term limits. As president of FDC, I cannot rule or lead the party for more than 2 terms.
In a continent where the trappings of power corrupt leaders, political observers are watching whether Besigye will live up to his word.
If he says he's going to hand over the leadership of the FDC next time around, it's a good thing. He's going to set a very good example, particularly for our very own president, who seems to believe that he has to be here eternally. He's the only person who can lead the country. He's the only person who can lead the NRM.
Many leaders have promised that they would serve certain terms, and after the end of those terms, they never hand over. We cannot go by Besigye's pronouncement. We are not sure that he's an exceptional leader in Africa.
Besigye for some time has looked like the cultic figure, the DNA of Uganda's largest opposition party, with his brand of politics striking a chord with the urban backwaters.
And I think he's an iconic figure in the party, given the examples you have cited of him being incarcerated, him being handcuffed and all those. He's a very important symbol for the party, and he will become even more important if he stands down, because then people will see him as an iconic figure in the party, somebody who gave the party the kickstart it needed to become a national organization.
Besigye is FDC. In actual fact, we don't know how he can extricate himself from that cult. He would be possibly the first ever person to challenge the cult theory, which I think is now dominant in Africa.
Though he plans to retire, political analysts cannot rule out other push effects that could influence Besigye's decision.
I think there are strong forces which are saying, yeah, you have already served your term. Possibly you should retire so that you give another person a chance. I think the pushover is actually there in the FDC.
I think it has less to do with push factors and more to do with the fact that the FDC has a constitution that stipulates that one can only be leader of the party up to a certain point. It also has to do with something I told you a little while ago, that the FDC has many people in it that are unlikely to cower or to shut up if Dr. Besigye wants to stay on.
But if Besigye behaves like the saintly Mandela, is there any lesson for those who have stayed in power too long to learn?
But I think that if Kizza Besigye steps down from the leadership of FDC, while he continues to cling on to the leadership of the NRM, his reputation, which is already severely battered, will even be battered further.
I think some democratic forces are shaping up within all the parties, including NRM, including FDC. You can also see within the DP there have been tremendous changes. I think some democratic forces are going to resist some of these people who want to stay at the helm for a long time.
Analysts say the FDC has a number of leaders waiting in the wings to inherit the leadership baton from Besigye and continue to champion his cause. One of those who has tacitly placed himself as a successor is former Army Commander Major General Mugisha Muntu, a man whose style is a complete contrast from Besigye's. Whereas Besigye preaches fiery rhetoric, Muntu relies on thinly veiled attacks interspersed with tough pronouncements. Some have even suggested that perhaps Muntu's laid-back style advances the innuendo that he's a State House apologist.
I think that it's simply a difference of style. Kizza Besigye's style is one of tough talking, it's one of using hard language. Mugisha Muntu's style is using softer language. Does that make him closer to State House necessarily? I don't think so. But you know Uganda is a country of 1,001 rumors. He's not the only person in FDC who is rumored to be close to State House.
But beyond Muntu, analysts say FDC has other good leaders who can keep the party afloat, like Professor Ogenga Latigo, Nandala Mafabi, and Salam Musumba. There's a widely regarded view that parties rely on iconic figures to tap popular support and attract new converts. However, analysts say that a party's ideology must transcend cultic figureheads long after they are gone for a political outfit to be relevant in the realm of politics. Emam Taizibwa, NTV.